because usually I get a green. Okay, now it's green again. It was fucking red when you said that shit.
Or maybe Discord is having issues because that's why I came back. It kicked me out.
All right. I don't know if we're back on.
We are live.
All right, people. Technical difficulties. I'm blaming that on the storm. Manny had to dip out because we're both in the Northeast, obviously. So I don't know where the hell we left off. The fuck? Yeah, go ahead.
I just about NHL '94. Mm-hmm.
No, you were talking about.
I'm going to talk about it because I got an update for it.
You were talking about the Azure servers, enterprise, cloud.
Yes.
No, but I get what Brett's talking about. But the thing is, that whole cloud thing, obviously, that's the new development that has come up because of this, and it seems to be the main reason. But like I said, if that's your main reason, it kind of lets me know, CMA does not know what it's talking about.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing, because they released their first findings, and that made it all the way to the official website of the UK saying, hey, they approved it. They saw no interest, no issues, I should say, with the Call of Duty being purchased by them, because they were like, oh, well, that's not going to be a deciding factor for killing the business and for killing Sony. So it's not a factor. So they said, well, we're going to move on, and we're just going to look at other issues that we do have regarding the future plans for their cloud services. That's what they said. And they were waiting for Microsoft's response. Microsoft submitted their responses to the questions. And then next this happens. Well, reject. We said no.
Yeah. I do want to mention
by the way, Kishak says the last thing they heard was that Carlos correctly saying that if Sony and Nintendo had their own version of Game Pass, it would destroy Xbox Game Pass. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, that's true. We all said it.
For years.
We all know it. We all know it's true.
Yeah.
They have a better first-party lineup. I love my Sony PlayStation lineups. I love all those games.
Yeah. Anyway, we still got more questions about this. Let me just move it on here. But obviously, feel free to bring up whatever other points you had beforehand.
Just real quick on the CMA stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, most of us haven't read the document, but I will say, if the CMA was, and I don't know, this is the UK, man. What do I know? Only Brian knows. If they were just principled in the way that they don't like these consolidation of corporations, then I would understand, because it would be consistent with their track record. But I don't know about the CMA and their track records. I can't. Really
Brian, did you hear Brian?
Yeah,
Brian probably voted for this.
No, I want to know if he's hearing, if this is big news over there. Like, are people talking about it? Is this something that they're shocked by? What do they care?
Brian, are you there, sir? He may have passed out.
There you go. He may have passed out.
All right. I think maybe that is the answer.
That's the answer. All they care about is seeing Arsenal fall apart at the top of the table. That's a damn shame. Goddamn Gunners.
Is that a esports guy?
Soccer.
No, that's the EPL. They've been on the number one spot throughout the whole season. And now they've been dropping the ball and got Man City, which is like the big powerhouse.
You can't drop the ball in soccer, man. You can't even hold that shit.
No, you can't even hold it.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn shame.
More fucking Europeans in football, soccer, motherfuckers. Anyway, Lego.
Well, soccer is a term. That was a European term too.
It was
a slang term. So it's not
I'm
an American term.
I'm calling it soccer, so fuck you.
That's it.
Lego Bro. All right. Should Xbox just move on from this Activision Blizzard deal and just make exclusive marketing deal with Activision instead?
Oh, it's going to be a bunch. We will see all kinds of deals that are going to happen if this doesn't fall through. They can make all kinds of stuff, and there's nothing no one can do about it, because it's like, hey, if you won't let this company buy them, well, then they'll work out a new deal. They can work out all kinds of other deals. Like, well, maybe they can just splinter off and sell them certain things. They're like, all right, fine, we can't buy all. All right, well, what do you want? And then they can buy certain parts of it. And like I said, the THQ situation. Then other publishers are coming in and gobbling up other things. I'm sure Sony will jump in, and whoever else has a few more, extra millions lingering around that they can go and buy up some other IPs. And that's what will happen. But remember, there's also a big lawsuit that's going on with China and Activision over the shutting down of WoW over there. And they got all these lawsuits that are happening right now. Because people lost their profiles and shit. It's like,
So, Adam, check it out. Oh, in New Zealand, they're talking about it on the news, this whole thing.
Oh. You see? Yeah. Because was it Australia?
Jay Chef has a good point. I thought it was about mobile. See what I'm saying? The CMA are fucking clowns. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about. You know, one day it's Call of Duty, one day it's mobile, one day it's cloud. It's like, which one is it, guys? It just seems like they're just really. Again, I don't want to feed into conspiracy theories, right?
Remember, bring it up.
The FTC met up with them a week beforehand, and we know for a fact the FTC is against this shit for reasons, behind the scene backdoor deal shit, so and then you couple that with some of the statements some of the people from the CMA have said, like, oh, on my PlayStation, it's like, I mean, in general, you should question anything government related. I know this is not an exact governing body, but you should question these things on principle. So that's why I'm skeptical of anything saying, and just the fact that it's very clear to me that they're very ignorant about gaming just helps that, so take whatever these guys say with a healthy grain of salt, because don't trust people like these, man.
Doesn't mean they're wrong about everything.
Doesn't mean they're wrong about everything, but I'm just very
how they're seeing this
about
deal.
This.
This doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
And remember, I'm saying this as a guy who would prefer this deal not go through, but I don't trust these fucking people,
No. It just sounds like they were moving the goalposts, because at 1 minute they're buying this. That game, it's always about Call of Duty. You can't. That's put other companies out of business. How you know? Well, Sony came and told us that it'll put them out of business, and then come back like, nope, it's not a problem.
Sony told us.
That's what they said.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking ridiculous.
They were like, oh, you're gonna put them. You're gonna be a monopoly. You're gonna dominate, and then that's when Microsoft went over there and they showed that big graph that went viral with the 80% that Sony took. Like, oh, you're right. All right, you know what? That's not a problem. That's all right. And then 2 weeks later, it's a cloud. It's a cloud. Show us another graph. Come back.
What's going to be the next thing? It's like they're clowns, man.
I swear, if they come back and say, "Well, look, Microsoft is dominating the cell phone market," and I'm like, you know what? I hate you. You're fucking liars.
Where's the Windows Phone at?
Exactly. Oh wait, no. You know what's going to ruin them? I can see it. The new Windows. The Ally.
The ROG Ally. Yeah.
That's it. They're like, oh, we see that Microsoft is now dominating in this other market.
You know what?
It's coming out of the Best Buy.
I said this on the Thursday show because I did a hands-on preview, Adam, of the device. I said this could low-key be a fucking Game Pass device. When I went to the event, when I went to the event, there was an Xbox rep there, and she talked for 15 minutes about their partnership they're having with this thing. So.
Well, it's running Windows.
Yeah.
So it's already integrated into Windows. So, it's going to work.
Yeah.
But I wish if they really wanted to take it serious, and it's possible, but right now they said they're not looking into it, if they make a build, an OS build, an interface build like SteamOS, but just for gaming. Because right now it's just Windows on there.
Yeah, right now we actually do have a question about the ROG Ally, so let's save that for a little bit. But they do have Armory Crate, which is Asus's like kind of thing, but it's not the same, but they have something there. Anyway, let's move on. Lego Bros' other question. Since Xbox pushed the cloud so much throughout the years and now the CMA killed the deal because of it, they're blocking the deal. Was Xbox Cloud a mistake?
No, they don't see it as a downfall. It's only the CMA that sees it in this light. No one else saw this. No one, think about it. No one here talked about it. No one said, damn, they should really start looking on how they do their cloud business. That's the big Trojan horse right here. No. This seems like a last ditch
it really does.
Yeah, they just feel like they have to find something. And this is what they found. And they're like, we'll block it for this reason. That's it. And if this goes through, Phil came with yellow sneakers. We don't like yellow here. That was offensive. I took offense. And no, it's not happening. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense.
That's a good point.
It was not the original argument. And now they're changing it. And now this is the new argument.
The only thing that Microsoft's gonna regret is if this deal doesn't go down, they're just gonna still owe a pretty penny.
Oh no, they're gonna be in the hole for a big amount. That's what I'm saying. They're going to war with
Activision's still gonna get like $3 billion if this deal doesn't go through, so they're still getting money.
Yeah, something around.
Yeah, but I think that's a deal if you back out type of thing. But
Sorry, Adam. Sorry, I just gotta interject. Guess who's gonna get a big bonus this year?
Oh shit!
Fucking Bobby.
Yeah, but
Bobby,
he would have
you're
got
already-
a bigger one with this whole thing, and that's the thing here. It's like that was put in place in case Microsoft decides to back out or something. That type of, it wasn't under this if it gets blocked. So that changes a lot of things. And if anything, they'll, like we brought up before, they'll just work out a different deal then, because clearly they want to work together. It's not a corporate takeover. This is both parties want to work together. They're going to figure something out, and it's going to happen. We've seen this with cell phone companies when they do this. We've seen this with cable companies when they do this. They find a way because they still want to make money. If everybody's all on the same page about it, it's going to happen in some form.
Yeah. All right. Another one here. Alpha Chuck. All right. How much of Xbox's future is riding on Starfield? With the CMA rejection, Redfall getting bad press and looking lackluster, and no games coming out, is it safe to assume that Starfield being a failure would cause major problems or for a concern? I have been with Xbox since the 360 days, also have my PS5 exclusives. Beyond Starfield, I am struggling to find a reason to own both systems.
I think they'll be in trouble.
Yeah, they will be.
They would definitely. There's no doubt about that. If this falls apart on them, because they're right. That's the only one they're really pushing. Everything else, yeah, it's gonna come out for. It's like, yeah, your car guy's gonna like, your kids are gonna like Minecraft, whatever. But Starfield, this is it. This is supposed to pull you. It's just like how they push Halo. For that hardcore gamer that wants all this stuff. And we saw what happened with Halo. So
yeah.
This is it. This has to take off. They have to get this right. And if they don't, it's a big question mark on the whole process. It's like, shit, do we even bother anymore of focusing on big titles like this?
I feel like a lot of the Xbox community, and this is, I mean, I'm talking about myself as well. I've lost faith in a lot of the stuff that Microsoft's done, in particular Halo, and Bethesda is the only thing that's like, oh, well, at least they have the Bethesda game coming out. The major Bethesda game, and that's Starfield. Starfield is their big. I don't know what else they got other than this.
Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is the other one, and I have not heard shit. That's another one. We know that Machine Gun Games, I think that's what the guys that did the Wolfenstein, they're working on it. We saw that teaser, and that was it.
If Starfield, check this out. We've been waiting for Starfield for a while now, and it was supposed to come out last year in November. And then they delayed it, and they said it was going to be the first half of this year. And then they pseudo delayed it because they released a date to, was it September or something, or later the second half of this year. And if this fails, man, if this is bad, I don't even know if a lot of the Xbox contingency can last another wait for E3.
Oh. It's just gonna be how many of those do we have left?
Shoot, I'm telling you, I'm honestly surprised that Xbox has even made it this far after everything that happened with Xbox One and the Kinect. That was such a disappointment. That was so bad. I was like, this is it. It's done. What do TV? All of it, it's done. It's done. Put this shit in a box. I'm done with this VCR. I'm really surprised. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, this is horrible. It wasn't until the Series X. The Series X is what got me back. I really like the hardware. I don't like my PS5. I like the games. I love my first party, all the PlayStation games. I love them. Just finished The Last of Us on PC. Loved it when I played it on my PlayStation. It's just, I hate the PS5. I hate the interface. I hate that they regressed and went back on everything that made the PS4 awesome, because that is by far probably my all-time favorite. Up there with the 360, but I love that the animated backgrounds, the music, the folders, just everything was streamlined. The store integration. The PS5 looks so bland. It's like it's 2 years and still looks the same. It's like, what the hell, man? It's like, make this pretty, make this like you had before. It wasn't broke. Just build on that. No. So,
yeah. All right. Moving on here. Logic Wins, who's been joining us all night. All right, first up from him, assuming the EU Commission approves the Activision deal and Microsoft's appeal to the CMA is unsuccessful, can Microsoft simply agree to create a special version of Game Pass without a cloud gaming option for UK gamers? This seems like a simple concession to make, considering that the only issue the CMA had with this deal was MS's influence on the cloud side.
Yeah, we brought that up before. They could just exclude that part. I mean, there's and all the other games work. It'll just be like, this is unsupported by your local government. That's it. It'll just be a disclaimer. It's not that big of a deal because that's the big part that people are forgetting. They have no issues with the games. They said that's cleared. That's it. The Call of Duty merge and all that, them buying it, that's not the problem. The problem now is the cloud stuff. They see that as a monopoly and they can't support that. Okay, well then you won't get that. Then we won't do it. I mean, one of the main issues that for me that I've always had is that why is it on PlayStation you can get a digital refund in the UK, but you can't in the US? And it's because that type of law. They were like, hey, that's it. You can't have any digital stores unless you give a refund. We're not allowing this. So they said, all right, fine. We'll give an option for refunds. But here in the States, we don't have that. So we don't have that feature. No one made a big enough deal here. So that way, if you pre-order a game tomorrow and then decide to cancel it, too bad. They'll put up a fight. They won't let you get your money back, which is dumb because you haven't even played the damn game. So it's the same thing, though. They can block certain features and they can push certain features. So if they can't work out a deal on that end, they're like, all right, well, we'll work out a different deal. We'll still do the game stuff, but don't worry. We won't try to do the cloud system in the UK because you guys see that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like if this is the sticking issue, then don't have that part. And again, it won't even matter because you said most people on Xbox Game Pass don't even stream games. So
the only time I stream, because I do stream them, but I stream them if I don't feel like installing it and I want to test it out. We have that option. It just says play, and you click it and you play it. Or if I'm on my Steam Deck, and then I say, oh, this game is out, and it's like, oh, Ghostwire Tokyo. Oh wow, this is crap, and then I don't have to install it. It's those type of things, but I don't consistently play over the cloud like that because I don't know. It's not the best performance, especially if I have the actual hardware. Yeah. I prefer to play locally unless I really need to play on a go. But mainly, it's just to test things out. I'll test it out if I like it enough. Hi-Fi Rush, I did that too. I liked it, then I installed it.
Yeah, there you go. All right. We're done with those questions, people. Now we can move on to other stuff. But thank you for asking them, man. Because again, if you guys, want more clarification on this, we will be here for you for that. All right, and Adam, I'm glad you're here because now we're going to talk about the ROG Ally. We obviously talked about it on Thursday because the embargo lifted for the hands-on. I talked about my experience. I think it's fucking dope. I'm actually very impressed by it. Obviously, I have concerns. Game compatibility being the main one, battery life being the other. But the price is not a concern. It's $700. I'm not even asking the question first. I want to ask you about that. Actually, you know what? Let me ask this, and then because the question is about that. It's kind of funny the way Logic Wind frames it. With the Asus ROG Ally costing $700, can the Throwdown crew hold a eulogy for the Steam Deck?
Whoa!
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, what are your thoughts on everything that we now know about the Ally? The price point, the new AMD processor it uses, all that stuff.
It's a handheld PC. I'm gonna keep saying that. It's a handheld PC, and that's not what we want. We want a gaming handheld that this has the power of a PC. Yeah. So everything that we get on a Steam Deck is really focused around the OS. Steam OS is amazing. The way it integrates, the way it provides the updates for the patching to make the games work correctly. There's a lot of support behind the scenes, and they're always listening. Like, for example, just came out in the preview build that they have now that they're going to integrate saturation. Now, you know that I use Decky Loader, that's a plugin, and one of them is Vibrant Deck, so that way you can add some more saturation, make the colors pop. It's great. But they see this, and now they're going to integrate this. It's in testing, and once it gets through testing, it'll go in the stable build. That is fantastic. But there's a lot of work that Valve has to do behind the scenes, and they're also making these games work to the hardware. Do we know that Asus has that same type of team that's working to make these games compatible to work with this hardware, with this new video, with the new processor, with the new interface? That's the issue. Because when you and people have tried it, just load Windows on a Steam Deck, it's not just like your Windows on your desktop. It's like, oh, if it play there, great. It's going to play here, great. Wrong. It doesn't. Because of the way everything is configured. It just doesn't see. The games just don't run like they would on a standard desktop? And that's the question we have here with the performance.
Because go ahead. Oh no, just real quick. I said this in my write-up. I said, just because a game can run on Windows doesn't mean it can run well on Windows. Those are two different things.
Yeah,
like because the big appeal of this, like with Steam Deck, you need to install Windows, do all this other shit. Windows is already there. It's just that's what the operating system is, right? But you're right. Okay, like for example, this thing doesn't have the touch pads, right? How are the analog sticks gonna be? Are they gonna manipulate like the cursor, like the mouse, or
if the game supports it, it'll be like that. It'll be one of those.
I'm just saying, even without any of that, I'm talking about you turn on the system, Windows 11. How do you manipulate it? That when you have it. When I tried it,
touchscreen.
Yeah, it is touchscreen. So you're good there. Asus has Armory Crate, which basically, let's just say you have games from Steam, GOG, Origin, whatever, right? It'll compile all those games into this app, right? And you can access them that way. So that's the closest thing to have. And I know since Xbox,
that's like GeForce. GeForce has that.
Yeah, it's basically that. So that's the closest equivalent we have to it, Adam. But again, how well will this, because it's going to have to be per publisher, I would assume,
Well, let me
go ahead.
I ask some of the more programmer oriented of you guys, like, is Windows the best system to have a game on? Because I was under the impression that it wasn't inherently the best system. It's kind of like Photoshop. It's just that it's been there forever and everything's built on the back of it. But I'm not sure if it's the best system to run games on. I'm not sure it's the most stable.
Yeah, it is the most ubiquitous, though.
It is. I get that. I get that, but it's not necessarily the most stable, and it's not necessarily the most it's intuitive. But when you factor in Windows comes with a lot of that homework that you need to do before you play your computer game, right? So I'm not necessarily sure that Windows is more ubiquitous and people are more familiar with it, but I don't know if that means that they're going to get a better experience.
So Tony, Tony, you played it. When you boot up, does it boot up just like Windows, like you're just seeing icons, or does it boot up into like its own gaming interface?
It was at the event, it was already on the Armory Crate, and I just selected games, and it had like 3 games already on Armory Crate, and I just selected them from there. I didn't go into the actual Windows desktop.
But did they say when you turn on the device that is one of the default, or you have to go to the desktop?
They didn't say that. That's just the way it was presented at the event. It was already on there.
Just trying to figure that out. Like for example, with the Steam Deck, for those who don't have it, if they're in the chat, it's like when you boot up, you're in the OS of Steam OS. You have to hold power button, go down, and switch to desktop mode. So it's letting you know that this is where you should be. I'm just wondering if someone turns it on, do they just see a Windows?
That I don't know, because it was an event. It was a curated process.
Because if anything, people would like, this is just a PC. Or am I buying a PC?
I would think they would load that Armory Crate launcher by default.
That's what
I would think you have to quit it to get to desktop.
Yeah. By the way, quick, Adam. Even Asus themselves are saying this is a handheld PC, so even they're admitting. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was going to say, to Brett's point, most games are developed on Windows or Windows systems, right? Develop on PC. So even if you have configuration issues, that's usually because it's developed on one type of system. So if you have issues like, let's say I develop against NVIDIA drivers and CUDA and all that stuff, and I don't test against AMD, right? And you have an AMD card, and then the game doesn't work. I don't know that, right? Then I have to patch this out. So this is where all the problems come from, is driver versioning and differences in hardware. But most games are developed on Windows, so you're not going to have a compatibility issue like you would with Linux. With Linux, you have to Proton constantly has to be updated. Wine has to constantly add drivers, add versioning to the drivers. Okay, this game needs this version of this, but this version of this other library, and so it has to keep track of all of that. With Windows, you don't have to do that. It's like, oh, okay, you have the same Visual C++ redistributable on every version, and it's the latest version. Doesn't matter. or it can install, and Windows can switch that automatically between older and newer versions, so you don't have to worry about that shit. So that's why most games they come off Windows. If they need to run on anything else, that's when you start having problems. You start having like, okay, we need a team to go make sure this works on Linux, or now with Apple, it's like, oh, we need a team to go test this on Mac OS and then figure out those issues, and have it running on. We have it on x86 and needs to run on ARM, so that's where you run into problems.
It's the hardware. It's the hardware end of it. And that was the issue with loading Windows on the Steam Deck. People are like, oh, well, it looks like a PC. I'll just load Windows. Like, it's not that simple because it's what's running behind it. It's what's Windows, what's on top of it. And that's the same question here. And just like what Chris was saying, it's finding the support to work with the drivers in the video. And it's the same things that the developers would have to do with this. Let's say certain games work on all the other ones, and then they load it on that the new handheld or PC there, and something doesn't work. It's like, oh, why? Well, that's a new chipset, and it's having some conflict with some element of this game, and now we have to patch it. So it's that, and it's all finding out if the developers are willing to put in the time to support the game, and we don't know.
Yeah, we have to see. But compared to some of these other devices from makers I've never even heard of, to be honest. At least this one's by Asus, so I'm like, okay, we should pay attention to this. And the price is good. It's only $50 more than the highest end Steam Deck. But here's what I find very interesting, right? So the configuration that we know about has the Z1 Extreme chip, right? There's also just a regular Z1. Could we possibly see a configuration with that chip that'll cost less? We don't know.
I thought there was two SKUs.
No. They've only leaked one. We don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But you're right. There are two chips. There are two AMD chips. It's AMD Ryzen Z1 A1, and Ryzen Z1 Extreme. The configuration that we know about has the Extreme chip. But will there be another one with just the regular one, with the regular Ryzen Z1? Because if it is, then that would
there
be,
you go. Performance issues. Then we're back with the Series X and S.
No. I'm just saying in terms of price.
The price will be different.
Yeah, price.
I would think so.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't know about performance. But
performance.
But based on what I played, like Forza Horizon 5 was fucking running like butter, at 1080p. I was like, it wasn't exactly 60. I'll give you that. It was like kind of 45-ish or whatever. I played this other one, Cloud Runner, something. It was some first person cyberpunk.
You're running.
Ghost Runner. That's the name.
Ghost
That
Runner.
was fucking smooth as shit.
It's super fast.
Yeah, and I said this, when I was, I've been playing a Steam Deck obviously for a year. I'm like, yeah, man, 720p is perfectly fine, right? You probably won't even be able to tell a difference with 1080p. Oh, yes, you fucking can. Like when I held the Ally, I'm like, oh shit, wow, like it just looks better, and obviously 120 hertz and all that. I'm like, damn, this shit is legit.
Is it a 8-inch screen?
7s, just like Steam Deck. 7s, yeah.
There's another one coming with 8.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Is it the Aya Neo?
Maybe
because they just released. They just announced another one, Aya Neo S.
Yeah, I think it was that. I saw one that was like, oh, great, here we go. We're getting even larger now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I'm definitely. I can't say anything now, but just stay tuned. Remember, I got a hands-on with this thing, so I think what comes next after that.
With the controls, that's my other thing. It looked like they were doing the layout of like the Switch, and I hate that because of my big hands. I like the fact that both thumbsticks on the Steam Deck are up top. Yeah. Instead of having to bend my right thumb all the way down.
That's going to come down to person. Like yeah, no, it felt great to me, man. And
did it feel like the Switch?
No,
that's what it looks like.
Switch is fucking trash. No, it is. It feels like a grown-up device. It's not a toy like the Switch. It feels very premium. The controls feel great. I love how light it is too. Like it's noticeably lighter and less bulkier than the Steam Deck.
Was it loud?
It was at an event. I couldn't tell, It was, I was a loud ass event, so I couldn't tell. But I know this guy, Dave 2D, he said he heard the fan, but it wasn't, it was like loud, but the Steam Deck is louder according to what, his tests or whatever.
It's a game by game thing with the Steam.
Yeah,
The Steam Deck,
yeah.
some games don't push it.
It
Like
did.
Spider-Man,
It
that'll
does.
burn it.
It
Yeah.
does get warm though. Like I noticed that even 5 minutes, like and it wasn't just my hands. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this gets warm.
But I'm sure it was also on for right. It just stayed on for the next person to play. So who knows how long?
It was just constantly being played.
A screen will naturally get hot. Like sometimes if I'm putting a long session, even I usually around 2 hours when I was doing The Last of Us, and I felt like a heat. It wasn't even so much the back; it was the screen.
Yeah,
the screen was fucking hot because.
I'm still tripped up with that. Like, when I watch like TV, like when I go, near, I'm like, oh shit, the screen's all fucking hot. This is crazy.
Shit. Thank God you don't have plasma. You fry an egg on that shit.
Well,
Plasmas, man.
Do they even? I was wondering, but do they even make plasma TVs anyway? They stopped that shit.
That was the first of the flat screens. You got a plasma. It was like, but they were also. It was like a big box. You could fry an egg on it.
Yeah, I remember our boy, fucking evil Chris. He had a plasma. He had to constantly keep injecting shit into it.
Those bowls will blow out on you too.
Yeah. Oh man! All right, moving on here. Oh fuck, we can't answer this question. I'll save it for next week. This one's specifically for Manny. It's an art thing. We'll say I can say that for next week. Sorry.
I'll answer for Manny.
Yeah, we'll see.
I like colors. Next.
Yeah, because this is like a video game art thing specifically. Because yeah. If it was just general art, I would just ask Brett or Chris. But yeah, this is like video game art person that works in the industry question.
The industry.
The industry again.
Oh, man.
All right, and the last question of the night, Mr. Tubeke. And I like this question because it's very different than everything else, and it makes us think about good things. Isn't it awesome to have some great games already releasing over the next couple of months? Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, Zelda, Street Fighter 6, potentially. I'll talk about that soon.
I like the Street Fighter. I have some stuff to say about that too.
Yeah, you could talk. I can't. Yeah.
You can talk about the demo. You can talk about the demo. Demo was open to everybody.
Anyway, Street Fighter 6, Final Fantasy 16, Starfield, etc. It's a shame it's taken almost half a generation to get here. Aside from that, what are you guys planning on picking up day one? So yeah, a lot. Yeah, like we said, games are actually coming this year. Dead Space throw that in there too.
And Spider-Man.
That's a day one. Spider-Man's a day one. The Zelda is a day one. My son is super hyped for it. That's all he talks about. He knows it's on the calendar 2 Fridays from now. It's coming out. That's all he cares about. He was like, did the Amiibos work? I'm like, yeah, the Amiibos work. He's like, all right, let's do this. So he's hyped for that. Definitely the Street Fighter. That feels like Def Jam, like somebody from the Street Fighter team. Capcom was like, have anybody played this Def Jam game? What do you mean Def Jam? Yeah, look, they got a bunch of rappers and stuff. Can we do something like this? It's like, yeah, we can do that. Let's do it. Because that's the vibe I got from playing that demo. I was like, oh man, with the music and the color palette and the crowd, all the like fighting in dance halls and stuff. I'm like, this is it. This is it. They got their hands on Def Jam and they're like, can we keep doing this? Let's do it. So that's it. Those are the games I'm hyped up. Those are going to be my day ones.
Yeah.
What about Call of Duty?
No, that's
You're ready. Again, by the way, just admitting it, this question is a little bit weird for me because for me it's like, what game do I want to review next? So Final Fantasy 16, absolutely. I've been hyped for that since before the generation started. So that's the one. Obviously, Spider-Man. That's another one. I'll check out Starfield 2, see what's going on there. I think that's pretty much it for me for the rest of the year. I beat my second game of the year, Jedi Survivor. I really enjoyed that game a lot. Very good stuff. I guess technically game of the year right now because it's the only good game I beat that I liked. I didn't like Forspoken. That was trash. Horrible. That's the anti-game of the year right there. But yeah, good stuff. Brett, your answer is Starfield, obviously, right?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to look, bro. Have I finished more video games than you this year?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I've only beat 2 games this year. I haven't. Really
oh my God, we're living in a fucking upside down world.
Yeah. You beat me last year too. I only beat like 6 games.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
This generation's been fucking dry, man. Every year I play less and less games.
Yeah, that's fair.
You beat Protocol. You beat Protocol.
That was
Callisto Protocol.
last year though.
Was it?
I beat it last year. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like December, so
Yeah.
it was like pretty late.
Yeah, that was a short game. I beat that in like a couple of days.
I rage quit that in a couple of days.
Yeah. I rage quit too, but I came back. I tried to review the fucking game. You know. Brian, are you here?
Oh yeah.
Real quick before we finish, Brian, are they saying anything about the CMA and like local news out there or in the gaming world in the UK?
Are they still talking about King Charles?
Yeah, yeah, just King Charles. No one cares about anything else here.
Oh man! Oh, Mario Brothers just got $1 billion. There you go.
Oh shit!
There it goes.
There you go. It's a great movie.
Dumbass critics.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you looking forward to? You're already playing Resident Evil, so you can't answer that.
Bro, I didn't answer.
Yeah, that's not an answer.
Oh no, Brett, I answered for you. Starfield.
No.
Actually,
but like,
go ahead, Brett. Go ahead.
I want to let Chris answer first.
Okay.
Oh, well, I mean, for the first time in a long time, looking forward to a Final Fantasy. I have like a long break, but this Final Fantasy looks really good, so I'll probably try it out. Like Starfield, I'm curious, but I'm not like, oh, that I gotta have.
Yeah,
Starfield.
all right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see though. I'll wait for Brett to talk about it. I'll wait for other people. I'm not like I needed day one. Like I needed Resident Evil and Dead Space day one. I didn't care. Give me this shit. Yeah, Starfield could wait on. Final Fantasy, I would get day one. I don't care what anybody says. That looks good. Other than I don't. Hey, shit.
Is there another Mario game coming? Odyssey? What's up with that?
They haven't announced anything. They haven't announced it. I mean, and I know Zelda's coming out. That's Kristen cares about. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. Yeah. I'm done. You Breath of the Wild is enough for me. Fuck that shit. Okay, Brett, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna get Starfield, but like, bruh, for real? Fires of Rubicon. Oh my god.
What you call me?
Yeah,
I was gonna say, wait, who?
You gotta explain that. What's that, Brett?
Armored Core, Fires of Rubicon.
Oh, Armored Core 6. There you go. Yeah, whoa, we got to stop the show right now. Brett, please tell us about Armored Core, man.
Do y'all not know the gospel of Armored Core?
Well, this is the problem we had on Thursday. That was the news. Like, oh shit, Brett isn't here to talk about this game, so I give you the floor, sir.
All right, Pimps, let me introduce y'all to the gospel of Armored Core. Armored Core is one of the granddaddy of mech sims, and in my opinion, probably one of, if not the single best, other than Virtual On, because Virtual On was the
my man,
shit.
Let's go.
But Armored Core is, dude, it's fast paced. It allows you to fully customize your mechs piece by piece without being tedious or drudging. It's gone over a bunch of reinventions over its lifetime, and this time it looks like it's coming back with a lot of lessons they learned from the Soulsborne series. It looks quick. It looks badass. It looks like there's a lock-on function. There's dodge attacks, melee attacks. They're showing all the classic different things. You got your tank treads. You got your spider legs. You got your hover legs. You got your fucking raptor claws. You got your energy swords. You got all of this shit. And if you have not seen this trailer, I highly recommend you do. Like, it's what you want Gundam to be. And Gundam just ends up being a bunch of like.
Wait, where's Riku?
Yeah, where's
teenage
Riku?
person?
They need.
Yo, hold on, Brett. I got. You'll love this story. So, I got my friend George, who also works in the office with me. Right, he is a huge fucking Armored Core fan like you, right? So I'm in the office doing my thing on Thursday. He runs over like, Tony, did you see the special edition? Like, it comes with a little robot, but you can also get a special edition that comes with a little robot house. I was fucking dead. Like, and I'm like, did you call it wrong? He's like, it's actually a hangar, but I called it Robot House in the headline to get people pissed off. But it's a little robot house. He was so excited. Like, I'm there busy. He just stops me like, Tony, you got an Armored Core. Then Brett, just like you're done, he just regales me about this fucking game. I love the passion, man.
They need that controller deck. Remember that control? Which
you mean like Steel Battalion? Right?
There you go.
I
had to bring that up. Yo, George, man, what about Steel Battalion? And I was like, we should write an article about the Steel Battalion. Battalion.
Yo, people are gonna not like me for this, but fuck Steel Battalion. That shit was slow as a motherfucker.
Here's the thing about Steel
Oh,
Battalion.
it was
I
slow.
worked at a game store, so I got to get the controller for like less than $150.
Yeah.
I got like 20 minutes of the game. I'm like, yeah, this is like, Brian, I'm making enemies all over the place. It's kind of like some of these space flight sims where, yeah, it's all very technical, but I don't really see the adventure part. With a mech game, I feel like I should be doing more like, oh, did you see all the switches I flipped? Motherfucker, I want to like put on my boosters and like skirt and drift while firing homing missiles. Come on now.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I've always heard about the games. Like basically, its claim to fame was the ridiculous controller, but I heard the game itself is not that good.
It was very, very, very technical. But again, like, see, this is the kind of thing when even when you're looking at like mech anime or something like that, right? You have all of your different kinds. Like you have your slow walking like chicken leg ones. We're going hyper realistic, and then the other end of the spectrum, you have fucking Evangelion mechs, right? This is Evangelion mechs.
Look at this fucking beautiful thing, man. I'm looking at it now. You know, the little... Okay, by the way, here's the headline for PC Gamer. You can buy Armored Core with a little mech for $230, but for near double the price, they throw in a little house for him, too. And then the under it goes, it's not a quote-unquote dollhouse. It's the garage where I make repairs on the mercenary war fighting platform of the future. That's funny. But yeah, look at that fucking mech, man. I tweeted about this today. I don't know if these guys transform, but bless the Japanese for giving us just transformable mechs and the mech genre itself. Man, I was watching fucking Megazone 23 the other day, last night actually.
Oh, that's
when that turns into when the dude's riding around his motorcycle and he's like robot. I'm like, oh shit. I'm 43 years old. I still get turned into a fucking kid when I see shit like that, man. I love it. Big ass robots, Brett. Give me that shit,
dude. But see, that's the thing. Most of the time, when they do mechs in games, they don't do it.
No, they don't. I've always
super well.
I love mechs. Don't like mech games. I know maybe that's not contradictory, but you know what I'm talking about.
Well, it's because their sense of they always go with a heavy sense of scale, right?
Yeah.
So they make the mechs seem like large, clunky. Everything you don't want to see in an anime or a fucking movie about mechs, right? Like you don't want to see them large and clunky. You want to see them doing fast dashes with laser swords and shit.
Yeah, like the fucking Gundam, man. Like don't do some crazy shit. Or the fighters from Macross. Yeah, I'm like, yo, you got 3 modes? Excuse me? And they're fast, but you're right, Brett. Your bushes, you just boom, boom, boom. Like, what is this shit?
Well, and dude, like at first it's really interesting because you're building your mech to get in and do the missions, but then after a while you kind of like thought like I know where Dark Souls got it, like that kind of loop kind of thing. Like you will do missionary missions just to get that shiny new pair of legs that can hold a little bit more weight so you can support that shoulder cannon and go fuck up everybody's day. Yeah. Like it's got that kind of Monster Hunter gear hunt, find that new next piece, that next bit. You get a custom build your own mech, which is just dope. Like if you don't like that, you're not American.
You're not right. Carlos, what are you gonna say?
Mighty Nerd asked a quick question. What will sell more, Exoprimal or Armor Core 6?
Armor Core. Armor Core. 100%.
Yeah.
Armor Core's gonna have the slow burn too. Like it'll sell.
What's gonna sell? Exoprimal.
Yeah, people wanted Dino Crisis, man. They didn't want this like fucking zany anthem.
Oh, that's the stupid game where the dinosaurs drop out of the portal.
Falling out of black holes.
Fuck that.
No, it's Armored Core easily.
I just want Titanfall 3. That's all I want. That's how I want my mechs. I like my mechs.
That's something else my friend George brought up. He was like, yo, I hope this game sells well, so it'll give EA a reason to bring Titanfall 3 out. I'm like, hey, you never know, right?
Well, I mean, Respawn is busy with all their stuff they're doing. They're gonna make Star Wars games for the rest of our lives.
Bro, all I'm saying is if this thing has any sort of online component, mech battles. Just so many people, myself included, are just going to do whatever the equivalent of invasions are to be like, yeah, fuck yeah, giant robot battles.
Okay, so I'll go next. I do want to mention when we talked about it last week. I did go check out that gameplay trailer, the most recent one. Man, that shit looks crazy.
Yeah, it does.
That shit looks really good. So it's something that's on my radar at the moment. But primarily Final Fantasy 16, Starfield, and Spider-Man 2. Those are top of my list. Anything else is sort of just wait and see. Zelda, Street Fighter 6. Those are wait and see titles for me. Everything, but the other three are my day ones of the year so far.
Nice. Did everybody go? I think everybody went.
Technically, I didn't go, but then
go
at
ahead.
the same time, I don't buy games day one, so I'm void.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, I think we're done here.
I'll answer for Manny.
Go ahead.
There's really nothing that interests me at the moment.
No, he's hyped for Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. But is he gonna? It's gonna be on PS4.
Remember, he said that he's gonna buy a PS5 for that game.
Okay.
So,
something just popped into my head, and I don't know if people have actually talked about this or even mentioned it. With the rumored PS5 Slim coming out around the end of the year, do you think that there'll be a Spider-Man 2 like PS Slim bundle?
Yes.
There has to be.
If they're coming out with a Slim, absolutely. I get it, because they want to sell this shit, Yep, I can see that.
Do you think Manny's going to buy the Slim or the fat version?
Probably the Slim. Manny has a tendency to buy the Slims, and plus he hates the way the current one looks for obvious reasons. It's fucking ugly.
If it really is slim and it does the same, it doesn't gimp like the Series S, then I could see myself shelling out for that. Yeah, just to get rid of this fucking box I have here.
Just add on to that.
Like the PlayStation 5, like as a piece of hardware, I think that's just.
No, that's why I bought black faceplate, so it just blends into the background, so I don't have to look at it. It's an ugly looking console. Anyway, Carlos, Brian, what's the next thing you want to say?
Final question, like pseudo related. Since most of us here don't like the OG PS5, if they were to make a Slim that's 2/3, half the size, would we buy it?
No.
Yes. I would.
No.
If it's more,
I'll buy a Pro, but I'm not going to buy a Slim. I already have the console,
Yeah, I'm with Tony here.
I gotta get rid of this shit.
I'll buy a Pro when they make a game that requires it.
They won't do that. That'll up in arms. But like, I just got a 5, and then I said we got to get a Pro to play. Freaking.
No, when they say you need at least a PS5 or higher to play this game, that's when I'll shell out for the PS5 Pro. Like as right now, they're like, it's coming out on PS4, but do you want a PS5 Pro? No.
Is Spider-Man 2? Is that one just PS5 exclusive, or is that also?
Yeah, PS5 exclusive. Yep.
Okay. See, there you go. That's pushing that.
Yeah, I learned I'm gonna buy it after the games instead of before the games this time.
Yeah, that's smart.
Well, Carlos, didn't you buy that Spider-Man PS4 Pro edition?
No, I bought the God of War one.
Boy.
Oh, I think it was all day digital. Yeah, all day. I think he bought it.
Whatever happened to that dude?
He's around somewhere. I see him on Twitter every once in a while. I don't know where state he's living at now, but he's kicking.
He's a family man.
Yeah. All day. Yeah. All right. Do we have anything to plug?
Nothing yet. Walking Dead eventually coming back this month. It's one of the damn shows. I gotta look up because they keep changing the dates, but one of them is coming back this month. I think it's Dead City though. I think it's a spinoff. Yeah. And then Fear got moved to June. So I'll keep you posted. But yeah, if you want to catch up, I am Negan. That's a podcast over on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and stuff. So still more subs. Got 2 more today. I'm just baffled by it. Because I'm like, it's been so long since a new episode of the TV show has come out to cover. And people still jumping on. So thanks.
Just a quick semi-plug. So someone in the coalition may or may not talk about a game that me and Adam played this weekend. But it's going to be really interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right, people, we're done, man. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. You can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. That's towards Throwdown Show. Throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. And if you've been watching us on YouTube and enjoyed the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when our premieres go live. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week, everybody.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
And Brian Manjoma.
It says a lot that we have better pictures of Pluto than we do of UFOs.
Oh, man.
Just saying.
That's crazy. All right, people. We will see you on Thursday. Later.
Deuces.